And a good Tuesday to you. The Seattle Kraken are trying to get their first win in February tonight at Climate Pledge Arena. All right, we're only 4 days into the month. Seattle's coming off a disappointing 3-2 loss Sunday to Calgary. It was a game in which officiating played a big factor. Shane Wright and Coach Dan Biles must say, despite what happened Sunday, they have to focus on improving where they're coming up short.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, just weird, period there and weird situation, but is what it is. Hockey, it happens sometimes, and we responded well. We always came back there and won, had the game up to win it. So, yeah, definitely liked how we responded, and is what it is in that first period there.
Get better every day, really. I think there were some things to start that game we were not happy with, and identifying them and talking about them and working to get better at them today.
Seattle and Detroit get it on at 7 o'clock tonight. That'll be on Kong TV. The Wenatchee Wild continue a 7-game road trip through Canada tonight following a 4-2 loss on Friday at Saskatoon and a 5-2 loss Saturday at Prince George. Actually, it was Prince Albert. There we go. Wenatchee is in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan tonight to face the Warriors. This 2,600-mile journey means a lot of time on a bus and in motels. Austin Draude, the Wenatchee Wild broadcaster, says thankfully a lot of the boys went through a bout of illness over the holidays.
A lot of these guys did come down with a little bit of a bug. I think a few of these guys ended up missing a game or two because of that. So I think that that might have actually helped to get that out of the way before we go on the long road trip. But yeah, close confined quarters and a lot of time in the bus, a lot of time in the hotel. It can take a toll on the body. So we're keeping a close eye on that. I've been throwing back the vitamin C as much as I can. I know a lot of the players, I'm sure some of the staff have been as well. So it's definitely something we're conscious of and doing our best to stave off as we go through this long trip up north.
Moose Jaw has only 11 wins on the season and has the worst record in all of Western Hockey League. Austin says it doesn't guarantee a Wild win tonight, but there's a chance to take advantage of their youth.
It really is. Moose Jaw, like you said, is a team that's battled some youth this year, some new faces, still getting involved in the Western Hockey League and still kind of getting the lay of the land. But it's a team that I think has a lot of talent coming up. They're just young players that haven't gotten there yet. But you talk about some of the guys that they do have. Aiden Ziprick is one of the top scoring defensemen in the Western Hockey League. So I think that's kind of where it starts for them. They're trying to find their footing right now and find their footing early in games. They haven't scored the first goal a lot, and they haven't been able to hold a lot of leads once they do. So this is a group that I think, like a lot of guys on this Wild team, is learning how to win. And unfortunately, they're still in the harder processes of that learning right now.
The Wild are currently out of the playoff picture in 10th place in the Western Conference. The top 8 advance to the playoffs. Austin says that playoff push is on now.
I think that urgency is starting to hit right now, and I think that's a message that the coaches are getting across right now is, hey, we're in a playoff hunt right now, but in order to finish this thing off, this is a group that has expectations of going to the playoffs, and certainly being a playoff team is something that fans in the Wenatchee Valley expect of this group, and we expect of this group up in the office as well. But it's a group that needs to keep the focus on, needs to keep the detail on, and that's the message that the coaches are getting across to the guys. But I think the message is getting across, and I think the guys are starting to realize as they look at the standings, and you see Seattle picking up a win here and there, Kamloops and Kelowna playing a lot of teams up in Canada that they're battling with for playoff spots too. So it's a group that I think is starting to see the urgency. It's just a matter of can this group get the job done on game night and get those 2 points and get out the door and on the bus with a W.
Wild hockey with Austin Draude can be heard locally on 560 KPQ radio. There were a couple of basketball games in prep hoops last night. The Waterville-Mansfield girls topped Cascade 61-24. The Cascade boys countered with a 58-50 win over the Shockers. There's a busy schedule tonight with Wenatchee making up its game from Friday at Sultan. Freight is visiting East Valley while Quincy's in Toppenish. Chelan hosts Lake Roosevelt while Manson is at Cascade and Bridgeport hosts Omak. 6 o'clock games tonight have Liberty Bell at Tonasket. Brewster's hosting Okanagan. Pateros visits Oroville. Entiat hosts Moses Lake Christian. Soap Lake travels to Wilson Creek. The boys' schedule starts at 6:45 with Wenatchee at Sultan. Freda plays at East Valley at 7 while Quincy's in Toppenish. Lake Roosevelt plays at Chelan at 7:15. There are 5 games at 7:30 with Omak at Bridgeport. Tonasket hosts Liberty Bell. Okanagan's at Brewster. Oroville hosts Pateros. Moses Lake Christian plays at Entiat, and Wilson Creek hosts Soap Lake. Well, the final matches of the regular season for the Big Nine are tonight with the regular season title on the line. We're talking wrestling here. Eastmont wraps up the regular season at Davis at 7 o'clock while Wenatchee is hosting West Valley. The undefeated Moses Lake Mavericks host the undefeated Sunnyside Grizzlies tonight with the winner taking the regular season championship in the Big Nine. The district tournament is coming up this Saturday at West Valley. The top 3 placers in each weight class advance to Matt Classic. That's a check of sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.